2.
Welcome to the MCTV News Marist Update. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Peter Malavenda. We've got a lot in store, so let's jump right into today's top stories. Seasonal changes are making the recovery of Hurricane Sandy more difficult than expected. Mayor Michael Bloomberg of New York recently compared the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy to that of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. About 30,000 to 40,000 New York citizens, mainly residents of public housing, will have to find new homes. A similar problem is faced by many residents in New Jersey, Long Island, and Connecticut. New Jersey officials have been encouraging residents to stay in shelters as temperatures have fallen into the 30s, issuing a freeze watch, and most homes no longer have access to heat. And to top it all off, gasoline shortages are not making matters any better. Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey has declared a fuel emergency and imposed gasoline rationing in 12 counties. As of this past Sunday, 700,000 remained without power in New York State alone, over 400,000 on Long Island, and over 150,000 in New York City. The cold is becoming a rising concern, so everyone is urged to try to stay safe and to stay warm. How are you affected by Sandy?
Well, my parents and all my family lost power for about a week, and there was no school for a week, but it could have been a lot worse. How about you?
We lost 3 trees on our property, and the shingles flew off the roof. It was terrible.
Did it hit anything?
No, thankfully.
Oh, good. If you're looking for a bright side to Hurricane Sandy, Nana Goettler, a Brazilian model, found one. The model is currently living in New York City and used the damage and wreckage as a backdrop for modeling photographs. She posed seductively by fallen trees and destroyed cars. Many internet users reacted to this as disrespectful to the millions of families who were affected so terribly, especially because of the many deaths recurring from the storm. Goettler's comments about how much she loves hurricanes and that this was an opportunity for her to spend quality time with her husband, who was a photographer, made matters even worse. The photos have been posted on a Tumblr titled Nana Goettler in Disasters, which superimposes the model onto other tragic scenes ranging from the Titanic sinking to the death of Mufasa. The question is if these harmless, creative projects were done a little too soon.
In the wake of Hurricane Sandy's destruction, some 1,000 runners who had been training for the New York City Marathon were disappointed to hear that Mayor Bloomberg had canceled the event. Despite their dismay at the fact that they had trained for months leading up to the event, 1,300 marathon participants geared up for a different marathon of their own, helping the victims in Staten Island Sunday morning. The group of volunteers, organized by sports medicine physician Dr. Metzel, completely refuted the idea that the runners were simply concerned with running their marathon, rather than taking care of the victims around them. The 26.2 miles were followed by the volunteers who carried batteries, garbage bags, Home Depot gift cards, and other supplies to hand out to those in need. Those who were planning to run for certain charities lapped around Central Park as a way to celebrate their training. Though none of the official times will be recorded, this year's group of marathoners showed the importance of helping others, especially in this time of destruction.
Locals here in Poughkeepsie recently got a chance to help out those in need. The Dutchess County Outreach Program recently held a coat drive. Here with coverage is Peter Malavenda.
Volunteers from Marist College and the local community are coming together to help those in need this winter. Coats of various sizes and styles were donated and are now being sorted.
On Saturday, November 2nd, volunteers gathered bright and early in downtown Poughkeepsie to sort coats. As winter draws closer, the Dutchess Outreach Program organizes a drive to bring in winter gear for people in the area. After 4 hours of working, the auditorium chairs became littered with jackets for kids, men, and women of all sizes. An estimated 5,000 coats were donated and then sorted. All donations will be given away to those in the area who want them.
I feel like there's kind of a negative connotation to volunteering because people don't really find it fun. But like, we have a great group out today, and it is fun. Like, there's so many people here helping out. It's really easy. It's one Saturday, and we're helping a lot of people right now. And it might not seem like a lot, but it really pays off in the end.
People need coats, and it's a great way to recycle coats that people don't need for people who do need them. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we're thinking about this year that we're trying to plan is when we finish giving away coats here on Monday and Tuesday, we always have coats left over. And this year we're looking to take them down to the city, either to Jersey or to New York, to help out people who have been affected by Sandy, the hurricane.
Local volunteers included high schoolers from various sports teams, a troop from the Girl Scouts of America, some local do-gooders, and a few volunteers from Marist. This is not the only opportunity Dutchess Outreach offers during the year. They host a variety of other programs to help improve the community as well.
I'm Peter Malavenda reporting for MCTV News. Well, next we head over to our sports anchor to give you the latest and greatest in all the trending play-by-plays in the professional world of sports. Here with the news is Zach Obid.
Peter, as the college football season begins to wrap up, 4 teams find themselves battling for 2 spots in the national championship game. Alabama, Kansas State, Notre Dame, and Oregon all passed major tests this past weekend to bolster their resumes. First-ranked Alabama went into Death Valley and defeated 5th-ranked LSU 21-17 in a battle of SEC powerhouses, further distancing themselves from the other teams contending for a BCS title. TJ Yeldon had an excellent game for the Crimson Tide, rushing for 77 yards, as well as catching a screen pass from A.J. Karen and taking it 28 yards down the field for the game-winning touchdown with 51 seconds left. Second-ranked Kansas State easily moved past 24th-ranked Oklahoma State to move to 9-0, as well as 6-0 in Big 12 play. However, we will have to watch the status of K-State quarterback Colin Klein throughout the week. The Heisman favorite left the game early in the third quarter with an apparent head injury, leaving his status for this weekend's tilt against TCU unclear. Notre Dame, the third-ranked team in the nation, headed into their matchup with Pitt with experts screaming trap game. Pitt took a 20-6 lead into the fourth quarter, only to allow 2 late Everett Golson touchdown passes to force overtime. Golson continued his late-game heroics into triple overtime, where he finished off the improbable comeback with a 1-yard touchdown run to move the Irish to 9-0 for the first time since 1993. Notre Dame will head to Chestnut Hill to take on Boston College Saturday for the 12th installment of the Holy War rivalry. The biggest story of the night was Oregon's offense against 17th-ranked Pac-12 rival USC, defeating the Trojans 61-51. Kenyon Barner, the leading rusher for the Ducks, made his case for the Heisman Trophy, rushing for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns, setting Pac-12 records in both categories on national television. True freshman quarterback Marcus Mariota also impressed, completing 87% of his passes for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. Another former Pac-12 athlete set a record of his own in the NFL on Sunday. Andrew Luck of the Indianapolis Colts set an NFL rookie record, throwing for 433 yards against the Dolphins in a matchup believed to hold playoff implications. The Colts, 5-3, defeated the Dolphins 4-4, 23-20, to create a little clarity in the battle for the final wildcard spot at the halfway point of the season. Other notes from the midseason mark include the Atlanta Falcons improving to 8-0 by defeating the Cowboys 19-13 Sunday night, leaving the Falcons as the lone undefeated team in the league. However, even more impressive than Atlanta's perfect record is the way Chicago Bears defense has been playing. The Bears, 7-1, defeated the Titans 51-20 Saturday afternoon behind 5 turnovers and 2 defensive touchdowns, leaving Chicago 7 defensive scores on the season, 2 shy of the NFL record. Charles Tillman led the defensive storm, recording 9 tackles and 4 forced fumbles. After one of the more exciting off seasons in recent memory, the NBA kicked off this week with James Harden grabbing early headlines. Harden, the former 6th man of the year for the Thunder, was traded just days before the start of the season to the Houston Rockets, joining Jeremy Lin as the new faces of Houston after lengthy contract negotiations never came to fruition. Harden wasted no time making his presence felt in Houston, averaging a league-high 35.3 points per game over the first 3 games of the season to lead the Rockets to a 2-1 record. While all of these leagues are seeing a lot of success, the NHL continues to remain locked out. Last week, the NHL announced the cancellation of the Winter Classic, the main attraction of the regular season for the league. The NHLPA and the owners will meet throughout the week in hopes of salvaging an already lockout-shortened season. The 2 sides have been very distant in their discussions on a new collective bargaining agreement, and it seems it'll take a lot for the 2 sides to reach a mutual agreement. After last season's record-setting ratings, it remains hard to believe that all signs are beginning to point to no NHL this season. That's all here in the sports world. Keeping you up to date with every play-by-play, I'm Zach Obid.
Other competitions have been running rampant in this nation, and I think you know the ones I'm talking about. With the recent election, many celebrities were rallying for people to vote, including, oddly enough, Will Ferrell. After starring in the movie The Campaign, the actor understood the pressure to secure the people's votes. The funny man even lent his voice to a new campaign video for President Barack Obama. In the video, Ferrell says, quote, "If you vote, I'll eat anything you tell me to. Garbage, hair, human toenails, underpants, whatever, I'll do it." The 45-year-old actor goes into a long list of enticing offers like, quote, "Hungry? How about a home-cooked meal?" Or, quote, "Need a guy to come help you move a couch? Done. I've even got my own van." And with that, Ferrell concludes his offerings while catching a football and saying, quote, "Vote Obama. It's a slam dunk." Comic acts such as this are often a way to target younger voters and draw attention to the polls. What do you think of that?
I think it's funny. I think Will Ferrell is really popular, and people are going to watch the ads because he's in it, and they're going to probably vote for the president. I think it's better than the negative ads have been running. I mean, they're all everywhere you go, online, they're everywhere.
They've been everywhere.
And people are going to get sick of seeing ads.
And that doesn't say, you know, what the candidates really
it's
believe in.
Not. It's not. An ad should be about what a candidate stands for and what they're going to do, not what their opponent is going to do. Here were the results of Tuesday's election. We go to our D.C. report with Michael Sachs.
Thanks, Rose. America has spoken, and they want 4 more years of Obama-Biden. With a victory of 303 electoral votes to 236 electoral votes, President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden have been reelected for a second term as President and Vice President of the United States. Among other third-party candidates, the pair defeated Republican challengers, former Governor of Massachusetts Mitt Romney and his running mate, Wisconsin Congressman Paul Ryan, in a very close and competitive race. The Obama-Biden ticket received 50% of the national popular vote and carried 25 states and Washington, D.C., while the Romney-Ryan ticket received 49% of the national popular vote while carrying the remaining 24 states. So let's look at some key factors that went into this race. The American people chose to support Obama's vision of hope and change for America. His list of achievements over the past 4 years include organizing the operation that led to the killing of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, bailing out the American auto industry, passing the highly controversial Obamacare bill, and bringing an end to the war in Iraq. Of course, negativity towards Governor Romney contributed to Obama's victory as well. Some statements that put him in the hot seat included TV ads he ran that contained false information, his 47% comment, his reluctance to release his tax returns to the public, and his, quote, binder full of women. Along with gaining a large amount of support with his strong performance in the second debate, the president saw a turn of support after Hurricane Sandy slammed the northeast region of the United States and had devastating effects on various parts of southern New York and all throughout New Jersey. President Obama suspended his campaign and visited the devastated regions. He stood side by side with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and addressed a crowd of New Jersey residents affected by the storm. This display of leadership and ability to work with members of the opposing party reflected positively on President Obama and provided him with some last-minute momentum. In fairness to Mitt Romney, he was not in an advantageous position in this situation. While President Obama was simply performing his presidential duty by appearing at the site of the hurricane, Governor Romney did not have the same necessity of presence with all of these factors considered. President Obama received the last-minute boost he needed to win a second term as President of the United States. Before I leave you, the final issue I want to look at is the effect the running mates had on this election. Vice President Joe Biden has always served as a source of entertainment in his political career with his tendency to speak his mind freely. However, he did have a significant impact on this campaign. This was best seen during the only vice presidential debate, with the Romney-Ryan ticket campaign still riding the momentum of a strong first debate performance. Biden came through with a debate that many critics viewed positively, and most even said he won. This significantly slowed down the momentum that the Romney campaign was enjoying and restored an even balance to the election. On the other side, Paul Ryan was immensely helpful to Romney in his campaign. Ryan provided a clear plan for the economy, along with the young energy the Romney campaign was lacking. It is rare that a vice presidential debate has a significant effect on the outcome of the election, but in this case, it definitely made a difference who's running beside the presidential nominee. That's all I have for you here in the D.C. report. Congratulations to President Obama for a second term here in the 2012 election. I will be keeping a close eye on you and your administration. I'm Michael Sachs. Back to you.
A recent blood drive on Marist campus grew quite a turnout. Students eager to help participated if they could. Here with more is Peter Malavenda.
Every semester, APD throws a blood drive in tandem with the New York Blood Center. Students are coming in and donating blood.
On October 25th, students and faculty were welcomed to the Performing Arts Room in the Student Center to donate blood. Donors were able to pre-register or walk in to help save future lives. Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood. Marist employed the help of nurses from the New York Blood Center to collect donations. In order to donate blood, people must be in good health, have no tattoos, and be over a certain weight. Donors also cannot have traveled to certain parts of the world or be anemic.
I don't really like needles, but the fact that I'm doing it for a good cause, that's why I give blood.
I think people should just give blood because, I mean, obviously it does save lives, but just the feeling of, giving back, There are so many people in this world that do so much things for us that I just feel like it's necessary to give back at times.
You never know when you or someone in your family or someone you don't even know is going to need blood. And every time you give a pint of blood, you save 3 people's lives. So it's really important, and it makes a bigger impact than you even realize.
Each donation takes about 30 minutes, and after the needle is removed, donors were able to relax and enjoy some snacks and drinks to help restore their energy. Overall, the blood drive saw a great turnout.
I'm Peter Malavenda, reporting for MCTV News.
Can't get enough movies and celebrity gossip? Well, you've come to the right place. It's now time to go to Brittany Jelinski with the updates and know-how on all things entertainment.
Thanks, Peter. There's been a lot going on in the entertainment world, so I'm going to jump right into a story that actually shocked me. For all of you 90s kids out there, you are in for a real treat. Apparently, there's talk of a spin-off of the classic sitcom Boy Meets World titled Girl Meets World. The show will pick up with Corey and Topanga's preteen daughter as she goes through the troubles of middle school and entering adolescence. The show is in the works, but the question on everyone else's mind is if the original cast will reunite to fulfill their old roles. Ben Savage and Danielle Fishel have not given a comment on whether or not they will return as one of pop culture's favorite TV couples, but we can only hope they will. Another groundbreaking story is that Disney has bought Lucasfilms for $4 billion. Apparently, Disney is even thinking of making a 7th Star Wars movie, even though the series was thought to be completed. George Lucas commented saying, quote, "It's now time for me to pass Star Wars on to a new generation of filmmakers. I've always believed that Star Wars could live beyond me, and I thought it was important to set up the transition during my lifetime. And I'm sure that all Star Wars fans will be eager to see what kind of stories and characters Disney will add to this beloved series." After the devastating Hurricane Sandy effects in New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, stars came together for a benefit show on Friday, November 2nd. Among these many celebrities was Jon Bon Jovi, who flew from London back to his home in New Jersey. The rock star commented on the Jersey Shore, claiming, quote, "It's gone. The entire Jersey Shore that I knew is gone." However, the other stars that came to the show included Jimmy Fallon, Bruce Springsteen, Mary J. Blige, and Billy Joel, have proven that Americans can come together in times of need to help those who truly need it. Very sad to report that the frontman to the band Suicide Silence, Mitch Lucker, passed away at age 28. The rock star lost control of his motorcycle and collided with a Nissan pickup truck. Fans are reaching out to show support to the other band members of Suicide Silence, as well as family and friends of Lucker. Fans have began tweeting in his remembrance, and Lucker is one artist that will surely not be forgotten. In the box office this weekend, number 3 was Argo, the movie about a movie. This Ben Affleck film follows a CIA operation to extract 6 fugitive American diplomats from Iran in 1980. It's based on a true story. In number 2 was Flight. This movie stars Denzel Washington, who is a pilot that safely lands a plane when it is about to crash, but controversy erupts when an investigation reveals that Washington was intoxicated when the plane was landed. And in number 1 was Wreck-It Ralph, the animated family movie about a video game supervillain who decides to change his ways and become a superhero. The movie made over $49 million this weekend. Along with these 3 movies, there are others out in theaters that you should go see, such as the star-studded 7 Psychopaths, the horrifying Sinister, and the very compelling and revolutionary film Cloud Atlas. But a movie that you may be excited to see is the final chapter to the Twilight series, Breaking Dawn Part 2, where Bella has to deal with being a wife, a new mom, and a vampire. Not only that, but she has to deal with a bunch of crazy vampires who potentially want to kill her. But in reality, the audience just wants to see Rob Pattinson and Taylor Lautner. Sorry, Kristen. Well, that's it for this week. I'm Brittany Jelinski, keeping you in the know.
Speaking of movies, in an effort to keep easy access to everyone's favorite films, online movie mogul Netflix has adopted a plan which will stop potential stockholders from taking over the company without approval from the board. The plan is to create a, quote, poison pill that would flood the market with shares of Netflix stock, countering attempts by investors seeking to purchase the film giant. The decision came after investor Carl Icahn bought a 10% share in the company's stock, an investment worth $14 billion. He claims that the program is, quote, an example of poor corporate governance and would likely force Netflix to make dramatic changes in order to improve its share price. Since raising video prices last year, the company's earnings have fallen 95%. The video streaming site currently serves over 30 million people around the world and has a film contract cycle of 2 years. Do you have a Netflix account?
I don't, but I need to get one because all my friends have it, and they're always telling me about some fabulous show they're watching. And
I think it's great. A few dollars a month, you can see whatever you want.
It's really cheap. It's only like $7.
Exactly.
It's convenient. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Peter Malavenda. Until next time, stay foxy, Marist.